What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? AJ Gore here, and I'm back with another comparison video. And of course, you know me, I'm a KastKing guy. But you know what? There's a lot of other great manufacturers out there producing good quality reels. But some of them come with a price tag. So a lot of times we look at, well, what can I get dollar for dollar? Do I want to go with KastKing? Do I want to go with one of these other brands? Well, we're okay with whatever you do, but we'd love it if you take a look at some of our products and see if it's right for you. If not, well, here's some other products that might be right for you. But at least take a look and see what you're getting when it's dollar for dollar. So in this comparison video, I've got a 13 fishing Origin reel in about the $55 range, and I've got the KastKing Verus Assassin, which is a new reel of ours, in about the $55 range. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look what you get dollar for dollar internally on these two reels. All right, so let's jump right into it. We've got the 13 Fishing Origin A right here on the right. And then of course we have the Verus Assassin by KastKing right here on the left, represented in a left-hand model. So let's jump right into it. Let's take a look and see what these guys internally have to offer for you to help you figure out which one's gonna suit your needs the best mechanically for some of the options you might be looking for. All right, so starting with the Origin A. So if you notice, we're gonna check out the brakes, okay? Well, the thing is, they're in here. So that's something to take note of. In order to adjust your brakes, you're gonna have to take this plate off. Now this plate did take me a minute to figure out, do I swing it? What do I gotta do? Nope, it's just a straight pull, okay? So if you ever have issues, you have this reel, you need to pull it off, unlock your locking tab, and kind of lift back here, you get a little wiggle going and you'll see the whole thing move. And it lifts off fairly decent, okay? Now, here's one thing that I noticed that I like this style braking system. It is a very good style braking system. But for me, I have big hands. And trying to get in there and adjust these brakes, you have to be a little bit more cautious, pay a little bit more attention. But they work well. This is a centrifugal brake system, and that's a great braking system. But it's internally. So every time you need to adjust the brakes, you're gonna have to pull this off, and then you're gonna have to take this dial on the inside here that rotates, as you can see, and adjust them that way. Not a big deal, but it does take a little bit of the ease away from it. Very sleek looking reel though with that plate on. I do like that feature. So does that feature outweigh the fact that you gotta remove this sucker every time to adjust it and then hold it? Some of the other reels that I've seen, like I can say at least with KastKing, when they do have that, a lot of times they have a swing wing option in some of their reels. So that's nice on some of their features. Now, moving on to the KastKing Verus Assassin, we have a magnetic braking system here, okay? To see the brakes or to access the spool, there is a little locking button right here on the front. And you rotate it down and it pops off. So as you can see, there's 5 very powerful brakes set up on the inside of this carbon plate. And then of course you can access your spool that way, okay? The ease of having your brakes on the outside, or at least the adjustment, is the fact that you can make adjustments on the fly. So you don't have to be taking this plate off much. You won't have to be fighting with it. You can easily make your adjustments externally. I do like an external braking system, but I also do like the look of not having a brake here. But realistically, when it comes down to the ease of fishing, that is a little bit nicer to have an external braking system. Centrifugal brakes are awesome, fantastic. They are some of the best in the industry, but magnetic brakes have been proven to work exceptionally well too. So both brake systems work very well, they do. This one takes the cake for ease and comfort. This one takes the cake for beauty and just really cool. All right, well, my little piece of tape is just not gonna hang in there, guys. So we're gonna fight with line that's coming unrolled. Sorry, we're gonna roll with it. Okay, so now on the 13 Fishing Origin A, next up that we want to talk about is bearings. Now it's not written anywhere on this reel. They keep this reel pretty clean as far as markings, other than the fact that it's the Origin and 13 Fishing. Other than that, they keep a lot of other writing off of it. So this guy right here is a 6+1 stainless steel shielded ball bearing. Had to go to the website and other areas to find that information, but 6+1 ball bearings, definitely. Oh, here we go. There it is right there. It's some of the only markings that you see right here is going to be 7 bearing system. That's that 6+1 right there, okay? Now on the KastKing, this guy right here is an 11+1 stainless steel shielded ball bearings. You have bearings in your handles, you have bearings where you need them. They are very nice. Now, don't get me wrong, a reel can have fewer bearings and still perform exceptionally well. Really comes down to reel design, and this reel fishes very well. They both do. They both fish exceptionally well, but I've got to say, KastKing is edging out 13 Fishing in 11+1 stainless steel shielded ball bearings, and of course rocking, some of those bearings are found in your knobs, so that's really nice and helps the comfort of fishing. All right, so let's go to gear ratio. With the 13 Fishing, I did notice they've got it down here. So the gear ratio is found right here, 8:1 gear ratio. That's a fast moving gear ratio, but one thing that I can say that I kind of like about this series of reel is that it's offered in a 6:1 or an 8:1. The KastKing is only offered in an 8:1 in this particular model. So the Origin A has got 2 gear ratios, 6:1 and 8:1. KastKing 8:1. Both of them got a fast gear ratio, but you have a second option in 13 Fishing. All right, line capacity, and this guy's already, it loves line so much it's rolling off. So in the KastKing, you're looking at, in 10-pound test, 140 yards, okay? 13 Fishing labels theirs in 12-pound test, and you're looking 135 yards in 12-pound test. So 10 pounds, 140, 12, 135. I'm gonna have to say they're really close, like really, really, really close. So that's kind of a draw there between the two, because a 12-pound and 135 thinner diameter, you get to 140 and 10. But we're talking just very minor change in diameter, so they're super close. I'm gonna call that a pretty much a draw there. Now moving on to drag, okay? The 13 Fishing in your drag system. Now granted, this is kind of I like the star on this drag system, okay? Feels a little snug, but it's not bad, okay? It is a drag power of 13 pounds. Now the material of the drag used in the 13 Fishing reel is unknown. I couldn't find it anywhere, not on their website, not on any other third-party sales. So you have 13 pounds of drag. I don't know what the material is, but it does work well. I did catch some fish with it. I did like the way the reel fished. Can't say that the drag was a problem at all. Now, moving on to the KastKing, you got kind of a cool, like Ninja Star style drag there. Feels pretty smooth. It is 17.6, which is kind of a standard on the majority of all your KastKing reels that you're going to run into. 17.6 pounds of carbon fiber drag, and it's a triple disc. So that's one thing I will say KastKing goes above and beyond, is to really describe what is internally special about these reels. A lot of your other manufacturers, such as 13 Fishing, they give you a decent detail, but they're vague in a lot of other categories. So that's something I wish I would see other brands kind of step up on. Okay, now, audible drag, okay? Listen. Okay, now, the B.A.S.S Assassin. Both have an audible drag, so that is really nice, okay? Very nice. Now, audible tension knobs. Let's see, can we hear anything? Okay, so we have both an audible drag and an audible tension knob on the B.A.S.S Assassin. On the 13 Fishing, definitely had an audible drag, but not an audible tension knob, okay? So maybe that's a big deal to you. I do like that audible tension knob because that means there's a detent there, and I feel those detents kind of hold your tension better over many, many, many casts. Okay, now moving on to line guides, okay? In the Origin 13 Fishing, you see that kind of a diamond shaped oval there? It is that same shape straight through the whole way, okay? on that guy right there. They call that an arrowhead, okay? An arrowhead line guide. I'm not sure if there's anything specific about the design. They really don't get into it. They just say they named that shape an arrowhead, but it is a straight tube. There's no taper, there's nothing to it. It is a straight tube in the shape of more of a diamond rather than an arrowhead, but they call it their arrowhead design. Now the KastKing has the DTCC or double tapered control chute. It's basically a funnel or a vortex style line guide. It's hard to really get a view of that. Got an oval shape to it, but on the inside of this guy, on the inside, I'll have to bring up a illustration. That is a funnel in there. It's kind of they call it a tapered line chute. But what that does is that allows your line, as it's peeling off the spool, instead of hitting a 90-degree angle, it funnels in more smooth. That's the concept behind that double tapered line guide. And they claim that that's going to give you more accuracy in cast, more distance in your cast, and more control in your cast. So you don't already have resistance starting at the spool. So that's one really cool feature in line guides. You've got an arrowhead design in the 13 fishing, and then of course you have an oval design and a DTCC or double tapered control chute. It funnels your line in better. I like that design. It seems to be pretty cool. Maybe it's right for you. Okay, so let's get into construction of the frame. This baby right here, okay? The frame. What is the chassis and the frame out of? I have no idea. 13 Fishing doesn't tell us what it's made out of. They say that it is a composite frame. It's composite of what? Most likely graphite. Most likely graphite, maybe some nylon in there. That is the most plausible thing that I would say is in the composite. Again, 13 Fishing failing to let us know what the material is and its construction. They just say it is a composite construction. It's got some stuff in there. That's all we know. So with the KastKing frame, you have a carbon fiber frame and carbon fiber side plates. I mean, it's pretty cool. You know, that makes this thing super light, still makes it very rigid, and also with a really cool design. So if you ask me, who doesn't love carbon fiber? I mean, it's just awesome. Strong, lightweight, space age material. Woohoo! Okay, now let's go to palming size. Okay, this is a nice feel. It really is. But you can feel when you pick both these reels up into your hand, you can feel this one has a little bit bulkier design. This one is a little more low profile. Okay, so they call this a 200 series reel. 200 series reel. Okay. It's not exactly what I would call a 200 series reel. It's in between. It's not as big as a 200 series in my opinion, but it's not as small as, say, these low profile bait casters. Now, KastKing is calling this a palm perfect size, and it is 2.8 inches long, okay, and then 1.5 inches tall. That's pretty small, very low profile, fits in your palm very well. So KastKing measured, put out a graph on exactly the size and the palm perfect sizing of this from length to height. And all 13 Fishing has done is basically tell you it's a 200 series. All right, so let's get into weight, okay? So this being maybe that's why they call it a 200 series. It's really, they are very close in size. KastKing smaller, but this guy is quite a bit heavier. It is quite a bit. It's 1.5 times the weight of the B.A.S.S Assassin. So the 13 Fishing coming in at 7.2 ounces. And then of course the KastKing at 5.4 ounces. Now let's go ahead and put that to the Pepsi challenge and actually see. So let's go ahead and bring our scale in. Okay, now we're gonna start with the 13 Fishing. With line, they say without line it's 7.2 ounces. With line, it's coming in at 7.7 ounces, okay? So I would say that's pretty accurate. Now, the KastKing, zeroed again, saying that it is 5.4 without line. So with some braided line on there, it is 5.6 ounces. So both these reels fully loaded with line. KastKing, way lighter, quite a bit lighter, a full 2 ounces lighter. That's pretty awesome. That's some of that carbon fiber construction for you. Going to be rigid, super lightweight, help cut down fatigue. So KastKing with the lightweight reel. All right, now let's get into cosmetics. Now, if we look, we can see that the Origin A, as well as the KastKing Verus Assassin, both are black. Black reels, kind of have these silverish white highlights on them. Some kind of cool features to both of them, okay? So, now, the 13 Fishing has the black and white cosmetics, and I think they pop very nicely. I think they've done to take what could be a very plain Jane looking reel, their design on paint scheme and knob color choice really made it pop, okay? That really made it exceptional. I do like the gloss finish on there. That's cool. KastKing went with a satin finish that still plays very well because carbon fiber kind of has a natural satin finish to it. You got the kind of a silverish lettering on your Spartus or Spartan helmet there with your different numbers for the setting on your brakes. Then you get the cool light blue, kind of that old school Assassin flashback blue trim there on the tension knob. It's a great looking reel. It is very flashy design, like that black on blue. It looks very well, and that silver lettering or the silver trimming really makes it pop. So both great looking reels. Do you want the gloss with the white knobs, or do you like the satin with the blue trim? Both really nice. So that's kind of cool. Now, when we go into handle design, we can see that they are both aluminum handles. This, of course, KastKing trimming up some of their weight. And then, of course, in their design, they've got kind of a cool shape to it. It's a very nice design. That is a good-looking aluminum handle. Now, 13 Fishing also has aluminum handle, but they could have saved some weight in their design and trimmed out a couple features right here. So, both not bad looking. This one kind of has an S shape to it. I'd have to say that the KastKing wins the actual machining design by far. 13 Fishing, they actually took up and utilized some of this real estate and just put some logos there. Okay, so that one it's kind of neat. So, I mean, that's one way to make up for, I would have to say, kind of a lacking design. The paint helped, but KastKing wins it as far as all around machining quality looking. I mean, you got like your little dagger machine in there. It's kind of neat. Kind of some cool features, attention to detail there. Both of them are aluminum and both of them painted black. When we get into our knobs, we have a rubberized PVC in the 13 Fishing with an embossed 13 Fishing logo on there. Very comfortable, wide grip. Do like it, do like the 13 Fishing. Scared that over time, those knobs are gonna get ugly and gonna require some cleaning to stay half decent. Now, the KastKing has just the fan favorite familiar KastKing embossed logo, EVA comfort grip. These are very nice, very easy to maintain because you just really don't have to do anything. As long as you don't get them greasy, they stay great. So simple design, but yet it is a worry-free design. Also simple design, very nice. Both have very nice grip to them. I'm just concerned that white, even though that white looks cool as can be, I do like the way it looks. All right, so do either of them come with a spare spool? No, they don't. Neither option has a spare spool, so out the window. Are they both available in right hand and left hand option? Yes, you can get the right hand and left hand option in the 13 Fishing, and yes, you can get the right and left hand option in the Verus Assassin. Now, MSRP, or manufacturer suggested retail pricing. This guy right here from 13 Fishing is suggested to be sold for $79.95. Now, I didn't pay that. I got it on a sale, and I paid $55.95. That's 30% off. Now, the Verus Assassin suggested retail price is $64.95, so still coming in cheaper at full price, and both packing a lot of punch. I paid $49.72 at 23% off. Now, both of these are before tax. So they were very close in numbers. Yes, the 13 Fishing coming in a little bit more expensive. Either way you look at it, whether it's suggested retail versus what I actually paid, got a better sale on it at 30% off, but still spent more. Now, the KastKing, $64.95, spent $49.72, 23% off at the time of purchase. Both of them relatively very close in retail pricing. Manufacturer suggested retail pricing, there is about a $15 difference. So, what does that tell you? I mean, what do we have to really think about here? Is there enough in these reels that are going to make you spend a little bit more to buy the 13 fishing? Or is there some details and things that you like about the KastKing Verus Assassin that you want to select? Price and all the different options. Some really cool features to take note of. One cool feature to really take note of that I thought was really neat about the 13 fishing that I'd like to see in a lot of other reels, that's a hook holder. We all like to stick our hook right up top, and I think 13 fishing made a really cool move by putting that there.
These are some nice reels. I mean, this Assassin, the Verus Assassin from KastKing, I really like it. It is a great performer, it really is. You know what, but I'm not gonna look past that 13 fishing origin. That is still a great quality reel. But who knows what you're looking for? Maybe you're after the more bearings and the carbon fiber construction. Maybe you're after some of the different hook settings on this and that centrifugal drag. Maybe you like the exterior drag. There's a lot of different qualities to both of these reels that make them a winner for both companies. But what's gonna make it a winner for you? Are you a 13 fishing person, dollar for dollar? Or are you a KastKing person, dollar for dollar? Either way, that's up to you. I hope this video helped you guys make a choice on just exactly where your dollar counts and where you want to spend it. I'm AJ Gore, and I'll see you in my next dollar for dollar comparison video.